Hi students, we're in week 10, day 1. Please take out a writing tool, your math notebook, and type ready in the Zoom chat. As always, you can check your email or Google Classroom for today's materials. The objectives are the following. I can determine if a table is proportional or not. I can write the equivalent ratios, equation, and graph of a proportional table. So today we'll be taking notes and looking at a table instead of looking at graphs. Next week we'll be looking at word problems. You'll also see that I can write the equivalent ratios, equations, and graphs of a proportional table because that will be related to your exit ticket for today. And our language objective is I can take notes on the multiple levels of proportional tables. Today's agenda includes Do Now 8.2 Jamboards versus 9.2 Jamboards, the lecture notes for today, proportional tables, written exit ticket, after school tutoring, and IXL. So, if you recall from last week and the week before, there were 4 levels of problems. Level 1, which graphs are proportional. Level 2, write the equation for each proportional graph. Level 3, write 2 equivalent ratios for each proportional graph. And level 4, when x equals 50, what does y equal? We had 2 weeks that we worked on the Jamboards because the first week I was not pleased by. And you can see that this is the first week's data, where many teams completed only level 1 or level 2 orally. But last week, we did a lot better. Many teams completed level 2 all the way to level 4 orally. So this shows a dramatic improvement. But we might also notice that the amount of teams that scored 0 increased compared to 2 weeks ago. And there's a reason for that. And we'll take a look at why teams struggled. So the reason why we have quite a few zeros here is that some teams did not communicate with each other at all. They basically just did their own problems and then they started talking in the last 5 minutes of class. And when they talked, they just said, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. So they all agreed, okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. And what ended up happening is that when they were asked to explain, none of them were ready and could explain what was going on. So don't wait until the last second to collaborate and communicate. Communicate as early as possible. Secondly, some teams struggled, particularly with stuck at level 2 and they couldn't do level 3, which is write 2 equivalent ratios for each proportional graph. And that's because they could not read the graphs correctly. When they looked at the graph, they made a table that did not match the graph. So it's very important that we know how to read graphs correctly and not make tables that are incorrect. As a result, I've decided to assign 2 IXLs this week. The first is a elementary middle school skill of how to graph points on a coordinate plane. I assigned that because multiple tutors have mentioned that students struggle with reading graphs. So in order to improve your skills on reading graphs, graph points on a coordinate plane is a pretty straightforward IXL that probably shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to do. Your other IXL for this week is based on the notes K7, 7th grade, identify proportional relationships from tables. As always, if you reach a score of 90, you earn a 10 out of 10, and you can earn extra credit by doing all 4 levels for 2 proportional tables. So for 2 different problems. Now you'll take notes. So please take out your math notebook and take your notes. And you can find the notes in a separate video. For the written exit ticket, depending on your first name, whether it begins from A through H, I through P, or Q through Z, you'll do that particular problem. Level 1, check for equivalent ratios. Level 2, is a table proportional? Level 3, what is the equation for the proportional table? And level 4, graph the proportional table. Remember, all these questions you can use from your notes to help you answer these questions. And one other thing I want to say is that please make sure you read the problem correctly under your name and then answer all 4 levels. Because if you don't answer all 4 levels, then you will not receive full credit. And as always, Monday through Thursday, we have after school tutoring. Deadline is 3:30. Please make sure you fill out the Google form and everything can be found in the spreadsheet. You can also earn extra credit by attending after school. That is all. Take care.